Hello and welcome back to another video inside the animal rooms. Today I will be bringing you a video which I talked about a little while ago in my previous video, which is the pumpkin, I fed my animals pumpkin video, which this one. Basically all I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be setting up a small new enclosure for a small feeder animal. I said I was getting a new pet. I lied. I might be getting two. However, today's one is here. Today's one is actually in here. So hopefully you can't see what's actually in there. No, you can't, thank goodness. That is what we are going to be setting up today. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what we're going to be on. So let's get on with it.
I give you my heart.
Okay, so first of all, we need this small tub, which has this small lid in here. So the animal I'm getting will fit perfectly fine in this space. However, this was an old cricket enclosure, so it now has these, and the animal that I'm about to put into this cannot have these on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this out first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sellotape the sides so they can't get out. So it'll be like that. They'll be able to do that. However, once I've sellotaped the sides, they won't be able to get out. And then once I've cleaned it out, we'll dry it, and then along the bottom we're going to have cocoa fibre along here, and then some moss, and then some cork bark, and then I will show you what the animals are. So let's get on to cleaning this. Okay, and so now that we have cleaned this out, now that we've washed this down, we now need to stop these from moving. So what we're going to be doing is using sellotape. Here's some. I will be putting some along here, so along in the middle in this bit, and then some on this side. But maybe if I'm smart enough, I could do both in one here. I can't, so we're going to have to use two lots. And it's better to be safer anyway, especially with these animals. If they get out, goodness me, it's going to be all hell breaks loose. So before I get to the point of what animal it is, don't forget to put in the comments what animal you think is going to be in this enclosure. Remember, it's going to obviously be something that needs a little bit of humidity, something that's quite small, and something that is usually a feeder insect. That is usually the biggest giveaway as to what I'm putting in here. However, as some of you watching this may not know what I'm on about, what a feeder insect is. A feeder insect is very self-explanatory. It feeds animals. So it's an insect like a locust, like my previous locust video. There isn't a previous locust video, never mind. In the pumpkin video, I showed you me redoing my locust enclosure. Those locusts are feeder insects, and now we're all sorted in here. So on to the next step. The next step is slightly more complicated, but it's still okay. So let's get on with it. Okay, so like I've said before, this animal is going to require some cork bark. I mean, not cork bark, cocoa fibre. So I'm not going to be using it a lot, but this is the coral block from Habitat. I got this from Pet Aqua. You can see that in my my pet haul video. All the other videos I've mentioned will be in the link description. Linked in the description below. But yes, this is cocoa fibre, and this cocoa fibre I'm not going to be using it a lot. I'll be using like this much probably, because you're not going to get much in. So yeah, all you have to do with cork bark is I will show you. I will be mixing it in this. It won't take me long. It literally, all it is you put some of this in, get it a little bit wet, stir it up, you got your substrate. So without further ado, I'll show you that. So obviously, like I said, we didn't need a lot. So I've got this amount in here for our new enclosure. And what I will be doing with the rest of it is once it's out of here and in the new enclosure, the cork bark will be going back in here, and I'll be putting an extra thing in there with the cork bark to keep it nice and moist, and I'll show you that when we get to it. However, we are now at the point where we can put it into here, so all I'm going to be doing is, if I bring you down here, because yes, I'm on the floor, but all I will be doing is I will be putting this into here, and quite simply it will create the substrate for the bottom, and as it's quite moist still, all it will do is it will create enough humidity for the insects that are going in here. Just make sure to push it down so it creates a decent layer. Now the animal that's going in here doesn't necessarily need a heat mat, room temperature is fine. The animal that is going in here can survive a lot of different climates, and actually that's probably one of the biggest hints that I'm going to be able to give you on this animal. It will be able to survive nuclear heat and nuclear radiation. It is able to survive freezing cold temperatures. It can survive a week without a head. Now, if it was me trying to guess what this animal was, I would have got it straight away at this point. But I'd say that's about enough for what we need. That's perfect, so that's sorted. But yes, this animal is it's a very overlooked animal, is what I would say. It requires a lot more love than it gets, and I think that's the beauty of this animal. You can keep it in a lot of different conditions, and yeah, it's actually quite a fun animal. So yes, in here we have a decent amount of substrate, but what I will now be adding is sphagnum moss. Again, I got this from Pet Aqua. I got this in my pet haul, and all that sphagnum moss was going to do is I'm hoping that once I've put this in with the cork bark later on in the other thing, it might even grow. But for now, all I'm going to be doing is adding a little bit of sphagnum into the bottom of this enclosure, just to keep a high humidity for the animals. And then, yeah. So the rest of this sphagnum can be put back in with the other cork bark, and all it will do is just keep nice and safe, because sphagnum can be used for a lot of different things. It can be used for planted vivariums. It can be used for wet hinds in desert enclosures. It can help increase the shedding. But here is what I've done. So I've just put a small layer above all the cocoa fibre in there, and now we have one last thing to put in here before we get on to the last point. Okay, and so if you remember last time in my pet haul video, I also got some cork bark, a bag of cork bark. Now see, this cork bark is so easy, I can just snap it, which is good because it means it's dead, and it also adds a little bit of decoration and a place to hide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big bit at the back and then another bit up in the corner, so that the animal that's going in here can hide. So this is the enclosure. I will show you a close-up now. So this is the enclosure. So as you can see, I've got the cocoa fibre at the very bottom, the moss on the top, and then all the bits of cork bark here, making it look slightly natural. So without further ado, I think this enclosure is actually ready for its new inhabitants. So we'll open up the top part to make it easier to put the animals in. And like I showed you earlier, they are feeder insects, so they come in these small pots, which is really helpful. Can you see what it is yet? These in here are my new colony of dubia roaches. And ironically, alongside of I'm a Celeb being back out now, these are the roaches that they usually use when doing bush tucker trials. Dubia roaches are from the Middle East. The males, like this one, have wings. They can fly but not very far. The females do not have wings, and they can be fed to other insects. So first thing I'm going to be doing, put the male in to establish his new territory. So here's the male going in. The male is now in his new enclosure, and straight away he's gone to the back to hide. So you can see him down here. He's here, hiding. And I bought 2 lots of these, and you get about 7 in there. So this one here, without the wings, is a female, and she's smaller and rounder. And these are the ones that you'll commonly see on a celeb, like I've said. But yeah, so without further ado, let's add the rest of the roaches in, and then that'll be the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my new pet dubia roaches. These guys are lovely creatures, very misunderstood, and I hope that you enjoyed watching me set up their enclosure in a very makeshift way. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment down below what you think my next animal is going to be, and let's come up with a colony name for my roaches, or the 2 big males. What do you think I should call them? Yeah, don't forget to check out the other videos, like the pet haul video and the pumpkin videos, just to check out where this has all started to come from. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Have fun.